Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Hi, Dean.
Hi, Kate. How are you doing, my friend? So long time no see.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. It's always great to have you as my co-host. So let me introduce us to our audience. My name is Kate Brue. I'm a head of business development and Dominion system, and today with us, Dean Kruger, digital asset management expert with over than 17 years of experience. Hi again.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, it's great to join you. I've been a Dominion advocate, for over a decade now. I'm so excited to go through this new set of features with you guys, and I'm sure it's going to be very informative. And yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I think everything is going AI nowadays, Kate. So it's only part of the journey that our digital asset management systems also start including these artificial intelligence features in them.
Yeah, right. And today we are actually going to talk about AI tagging and how AI tagging can help many people work and organize their media files, creative designs, and we are going to showcase the latest feature in action and also share some valuable insights how to use it and get the most of it.
Yeah, amazing. And while we go through this, also I want to encourage everybody who's viewing the streams on whatever platform. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them into the live chat on whatever platform you're watching on. We'll try to address them if there is something that is maybe a bit too technical that we cannot address. You're very welcome to send an email to support@dominion.net, and we will flag your comments and your questions for our developers' attention. Yeah, so let's go. Let's talk about this, Kate.
Yeah, right. And actually, today with us, a couple of people who haven't heard about digital asset management before. That's why I would like to start with a brief introduction to everyone what DAM system is. And could you please tell me, if you remember, how was your experience working with files before you have DAM on board? What challenges did you face, and how has it transformed since then?
You know, it's. I always like to use this analogy of going to a library to find a book, right? So
Yeah.
the dam system is basically the catalog of all the books in the library. And before we had a dam system in house, we used to have to rely on our memories. So first of all, if you don't remember where and in what folder you saved your files, good luck finding them. Good luck finding them. It was, so what that meant is whenever we had new people coming to the organization, it was such a tedious process because we had to get everybody trained up. People had to go through a process of getting familiar with all the files. And, if you take that analogy of the library, I can go to any library in the world and just type on the catalog in front there, I'm looking for a history book about the Vikings that was written by this author in that period of time. And at a glance, I'll have what I'm looking for. It'll tell me that book is located in the reference section on that shelf over there. And the DAM system is exactly the same for your digital assets. So every time that you need to find a file, it's a simple matter of querying your catalog and you know exactly where it is, and then you can work with it. So before we started using a digital asset management system, we wasted a lot of time. We wasted a lot of time. I always like to use this story of, if you just do the math, if you just take a calculator and you say to yourself, okay, in one day, I spend maybe 30 minutes just looking through, searching for files. So that means in a week, I waste 2.5 hours. In a month, that's one work day that you've
Yep.
spent, that's wasted. One full work day you just spent searching. And then, you add it up over a year, you add it up over 5 years. You're wasting so much time, and it's counterproductive to work in that manner. So before and after digital asset management systems in my company is the story of the cavemen and then modern people. That's
Yeah, right. And actually, you should be lucky enough to find what you're looking for, especially for your archive. If I'm not mistaken, we are talking about millions and millions of files from different
yeah, yeah.
locations.
The last time
Yep,
we checked, we had just under 2 million digital assets in that catalog. So it's impossible for
that's a
one
lot.
human being to remember where everything is saved. Like it's just
Yep,
impossible. So
yeah,
like I
absolutely.
said, you have to rely on your memory. You have to go like, oh, when was it? It was last year that we were looking for those, so they must be saved in that folder or that year. It becomes a bit of a detective game to find your files
Yeah,
at the end of it.
yeah, that's why it's really interesting to hear your feedback about our the latest like feature AI tagging, because I believe well it is actually a trick question. Can you rely on AI tagging rather than on memory or manual tagging? So I believe we will find it out a bit later. As far as I
Yeah,
know, like you've been using like our later release like for a couple of weeks already. So
yeah.
what is your opinion? And has it transformed the way you work? Like maybe something changed, or do you do something differently?
Yeah. So what since the introduction of the AI tagging, what I found in my workflow is that what we do, we have got a very specific way of tagging our files. But what I found that the AI is very good at doing is identifying. So it's a general purpose model, so it's not OpenAI, Google Vision, those two services that have been integrated into Dominion at this stage. They're general purpose models. So, they're very good for picking up things that are, generalized. If you have a very specific catalog, say, for example, you have 20,000 images of different types of screws and screwdrivers. A general purpose model like this might not really be the best fit for it, because you're only going to get screwdriver, screwdriver. You'd maybe have to train a custom model on the back end of which I know you can do on OpenAI.
Yep.
So that's that's where it really comes in handy because once I've taken an entire let's say 5,000 files that we've accumulated over a specific job, and I sent it through, I can immediately start grouping and isolating files together. So what I found, one of the benefits is that the noise, because there's a lot of noise when I say noise, I mean it's unnecessary files. Like for example, somebody will take a photograph of this direction, then that direction, and there's just a slight difference. So there's and that's what we will only use one of those images at the end of the day, but it
Yep.
really helps you to. So, for example, there will be a specific object in all four of those shots, and then if you search for that tag, it helps you to group your files together. And At the end of the day, Kate, life is so short. We've got such a short period of life to live. Why waste that time, that little time that you have to be alive, on sitting there going interior, exterior, house, car, street, man, dog? Life is too short for that. So if you can have the computer do the work for you, and it becomes a process of curating. So a lot of my work now has got, I can see next season we are going to be, instead of sitting the whole winter assigning metadata to files, we are basically going to take that time for more creative and more productive outlets within our department. And we are basically going to spend the last month just curating those files. So we're going to look at the quality of the AI tags that have been assigned, and it's just going to be a process of revising those files and revising the information that we find that the AI has assigned. Maybe computers aren't perfect, especially AI is still at the inception of the of getting into the mainstream. So it's not. In my opinion, it is not 100% accurate. And there's
Yeah.
always a little bit of ambiguity. For example, what we will see as a specific type of lamppost, AI might think it's a telephone pole. So it's a small different nuanced tagging features that I think we will spend our time on next season. Because
Yeah.
that 3-4 months of just sitting there every day tagging images, and it's so boring, it's so repetitive. It's by the end of the if you've been tagging images for a day, you're fine. For a week, you get depressed. By the end of the month, you want to you want to jump from the roof because it's just so repetitive and boring. And so I'm 100% excited to see how this workflow will play out in our next season.
Yeah, I always say that like if you talk about some specific information, let's say internal name of the project or maybe people name, and actually AI, it's not something that will work for you, like for these companies in this case. But if we talk about general objects and we need to identify, let's say, kids playing on the background or maybe just, window house with a specific style or something like that, maybe like a specific room type. In this case, it works perfectly, and it even more accurate in tagging and providing description and additional information rather than I can do it manually, because I believe I quit doing tagging like because it definitely takes a lot if we talk like about the same level of detailed description.
Right. And that's the thing, now that you mention it, is sometimes we miss things. We miss, I will tag, go away tagging a garden, and I won't think of tagging the fountain. Maybe there's a fountain in the garden, or there's a tree, but inside the tree there's a tree house that the kids built. So I'm at first glance I see those things, but my mind doesn't tell me you have to tag that. AI will automatically pick up on these things, label them. So there is the that's where it's very, very handy, because it doesn't. It's very objective. So it's not like I will sit there and I will look at the images and I will interpret everything through my subjective opinion of what's important, what needs to be tagged. The AI doesn't care. It tags everything. If there is something standing in the driveway, it'll tag it in there. So I think that's one of the benefits, and it's very interesting that you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Wow. And actually, I have a question for you. If we talk about the previous version about AI, like Google Vision One, did you use it like quite extensively or not?
I
And
did. I did. Yes.
okay,
Yes. I did. The
do you
thing
mind
that,
showing
that I
us the difference? I'm sorry for interrupting.
no, 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 no. I interrupted you. Sorry. Finish your question.
No, no, no. Please go ahead.
No, I was very excited about that first rollout of Google Vision. We used it extensively, um, and it does basically exactly the same thing that AI does, that OpenAI does, but OpenAI goes just so much further. Where Google Vision does tagging when it comes to your keywords and your categorization. So those are the two types of tags that it supplies. But with OpenAI, you can go into descriptions. I mean, if it recognizes landmarks or anything in those files, and you can even extend it to user-controlled vocabulary, which I only learned about today when you told me that this feature is ready. I was going like, "What?"
Yeah, we will talk about it
Oh,
a bit
really? That's
later.
so exciting, and I'm looking forward to you showing us that. Um, but I guess at some stage let's jump into a bit of a show and tell, and just show our viewers what the where to set everything up, how it works, and then what it looks like in action. Let me just have a look at the chat quickly. We've got some
Yep.
viewers here. We see Darius there. Bill is here. Hi, Bill. How you doing? And right, I guess let's jump straight into it.
Actually, before we proceed with the demonstration, for all our viewers, if you have like any expectations or any questions regarding AI feature, please let us know in the chat. We will take a look at your questions, and I believe we will cover all of them during the webinar today.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least I hope
So
so.
yeah, so if you could monitor the chat for any questions, Kate, I'm going to switch my attention over to the monitor here and start sharing. Let me just see, I've got that there. Okay. So I have got my server machine open at the moment, and this is my Dominion server's catalog settings. Now you'll notice on your catalog settings, there is an option here where you can enter your Google Vision key. Again, if you need to know how to obtain this and register it, follow this hyperlink and just include the file in your, you generate a JSON file that you download from Google's servers. You select that file within your settings over here, and the same process for ChatGPT. However, with ChatGPT, you generate an API key that you download, and you can simply set in there. And then once you've set that up, you must just make sure to have this option enabled, and then you can select the languages that you wish to use. So there's a couple of different languages that are supported. I'm going to default to English, and then if you find that the results are a bit noisy to your liking, you can play around with this relevance score. So this just adjusts the sensitivity. So if you bump this score up towards the higher end, you will find that there's some classifications that might not be 100% accurate, but obviously it's going to generate more keywords the higher you put it. And then when you bump it lower, the inverse will happen. It'll be more precise, but it'll generate far fewer keywords.
Yeah. And the next thing here, sorry, I will jump real quick. Like we have definitely like clients from different regions, and if you don't want to have all your like text in English, you can select any language from the list, and you will get the translation into your categories. I believe that's really nice. So like you don't need to duplicate like all these tags into a few languages. Sorry, Dean, please go ahead.
Yeah. So now that I've set up those settings on the back end here, let's go to before the demo. I downloaded a couple of test files, just some office workers, so that we can see how the tagging works. So let's take, for example, this particular file over here. So you can examine the metadata here. So you'll see there are no AI labels, objects, keywords. None of that has been assigned. And it's basically an image of a person doing a presentation, very informal office setting. Let's see what happens when we send that to AI. So to send the files to AI, you select the image or set of images that you want to tag. You right-click on there, and on your actions menu, you'll see that there is the AI tagging option. So this will bring up this dialog for you where you can choose between the different AI engines that you want to use. Like I mentioned earlier, you either use the Google Vision API, or you can use the ChatGPT API. Now, this is also a setting that by default I leave this on, because this will ignore files that have already been tagged with AI. So you'll find that sometimes, especially if you're doing large volumes of tagging, maybe you want to be conscious of the amount that you spend on your AI tagging. This is a very prudent option to have. And then over here, you can activate and deactivate whatever you wish the AI to tag. So it's going to go through the AI labels, objects, titles, description, category, keywords, author, scene, subject code, intellectual genre, artist. All of these, it's going to try and attempt to interpret the file that I'm uploading, and it's going to respond with the metadata. So this
Hi,
is
Dean. Sorry for interrupting. Let me quickly ask our audience if they can see the screen that you are sharing, because it seems that they're not.
Can you see?
I can actually but I've just received a comment that it is two of us speaking, and we are not showing anything. So okay, like Dorian can see the screen. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
For interruption. Yeah, thank you for all your
No
comments.
problem. There's an interesting question from Maurice here. It's a quick question about privacy. Is the AI process exchanging any kind of info with the cloud platform, or is all the processes local? So the two AI engines that we use, Google and OpenAI, are both hosted online. So if privacy is a concern, if you're working with sensitive information, you just have to bear in mind that these are third-party services, and your information is only going to be as sensitive as the or it's as secure as the third party is. So, if you're working with confidential information, I don't think that, especially if you're bound by legal agreements and that kind of thing, I don't think that it is a very prudent approach to share any of your information outside of the network. At this stage, the only on-premise artificial intelligence algorithm that Dominion is running in on-premise is the facial detection algorithm, as far as I know. And then there's also some color detection algorithms. But this kind of artificial processing where your files get tagged in detail, that is processed offsite by a third-party service. I hope that that answers your question. Bill, the no-cost AI service, that is, what is that? That's the goose that lays the golden eggs. It's the I have yet to find one that is any good. I don't know. I don't remember the service I tried. The results. This was a year ago as well. But there's even if you want to use AI and you want to save money on having the tagging done. Ultimately, you are going to pay either if you tag it yourself or if you have it tagged by an AI. There are some image viewers that I know. For example, I've used what's it called, the ACDC. That has got an AI engine built into it. It's very high on system resources, and it also has a very strict controlled vocabulary that it uses to tag the images. So it's not really extensible. And then again, you have the added legwork that you have to take those AI tags, write them into metadata, and then ingest them into your Dominion catalog. I've done it with that, but again, ACDC is not a free system. You also have to subscribe to their software to use it. So, in my humble opinion, the most cost-effective of the two models is the Google Vision one. OpenAI's API is a bit more pricey, but the results that you get from the OpenAI API is like 300, 400% better than the ones that you get from Google Vision, in my
Okay,
opinion.
and also talking about like AI with like no subscription or credits model. As far as I know, our team did a research to have something like locally hosted, especially for those who are interested to have it locally. It was just an idea, and they considered to have it for uh, auto tagging video files. It is not here yet. I'm not sure that we will have it like maybe even next year, but we are also thinking of this, and maybe later it will be added to the software, but not immediately. Right now, OpenAI is the best thing that exists on the market with a high level of accuracy and at the most affordable cost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a catch 22. Sorry, I mean, I while we were talking, I thought I'd sent the file to OpenAI. I just okayed my settings. So let's just
Okay.
quickly wait. Let's just wait for these files to do a round trip quickly, and then we'll see what kind of tagging
Dean,
results.
is it a way to zoom it a bit? Because it seems not everyone can see your screen clearly.
There is. Let me see. Oh, sorry. I'm looking across the different monitors. Let me see if there is something bigger. 223. It's either going to be this or that. I don't think it changes. I'm sorry, it doesn't change much of the resolution. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I think that's about as good as it's going to get, I'm afraid.
Okay, so we will focus on controlled vocabulary later. It will be showed on web interface, and I believe we will have like a clear like picture with
Yeah,
another resolution there.
I was testing this a second ago. I have to. I'm not sure what I messed up here in the process. Let's examine some of the labels that were assigned. So as you can see here, I've got a catalog with 160,000 files in it. I've put I'd say about 40,000 of those files through this process. And you can see the type of tagging that results from it. For example, like I said, it's geared, when you get to things generalized, like, for example, an academic institution. And these are the kind of results that it yields. And then, when you are browsing your search results, you can also now search you can filter your types of tagging. So you can look for tags that were generated either manually or with AI, or you can only look at your AI tags or only your manual tags. So that's a very handy way of distinguishing between the two if you are unsure of the results. But in my opinion, it's, like I said earlier, it's never going to replace the human interaction and the human element that you get from a human being's interpretation of media. But it sure cuts a lot of the noise out. It makes your life easier, and it turns your workflow into a process of curation. Contextual information, for example, like adventure. This is the kind of thing it picks up as adventure, and you can see the other keywords here: architecture. It picks up a bicycle. I would have never tagged a bicycle in this particular frame. Building, clothing, jeans, person, vehicle. Those are the kind of tags that we get from this. Again, here it thinks this is adventure, and it tags the keywords clothing, landscape, mountain, nature, person, sky, vehicle, um, and the list goes on. So now once I've done this particular set of tagging, you'll see
Dean,
that
do you mind if I ask you one more time? Like these tags that you were showing us, are they done by Google Vision or OpenAI?
so it's a combination of both. So these these were done by the OpenAI engine, and then I am looking. No, this was done by the AI, and these are the objects that are detected. And these were the ones that I've added in manually. So this is just what the um, I feel like such a moron because I was displaying. Oh, look at these!
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
wrong.
because
You're right. Thank you for pointing that out. I feel like such an idiot. So the AI label is adventure, and the objects were the ones, right? So let's have a quick look and just see at the objects again. So the
yeah,
AI
I
objects,
just have a strong
these are the
feeling
ones.
that it was
Yeah,
made
you are
by
right.
Google
You're
Vision.
100% right. I'm looking at my keywords and going, okay, so backpack person, street light, right? Those were the tags that it. So when I see this, what I would do is I would up the threshold a little bit, because I'm sure if you give it a bit more leniency, it'll probably detect that this is a mountain and a pine forest in the background as well. And let's have a look here: lantern, van, and also on the adventure person, adventure hat. Yeah, I've got my threshold set very, very strict, so it's not going to give too much. So over here, the object is tent. It says adventure, camping, and sunset. But you get the general idea. So that's what the Open AI and Google Vision tagging returns. It's like I said, this is we've had the Google Vision feature built into Dominion for quite some time now. This is the Open AI integration has only recently been released, so I'm still playing around with it and finding my bearings in it. I think I might be looking at this and then I'm looking at that. It's all very fresh and exciting and new at the moment. Have you played around with it at all? Okay.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I did, and I really like the results. Actually, last weekend we went to the countryside, and we look at the sky using like a specific tool, and I had a couple of images of moon, and I wasn't aware like what geographical objects I could recognize based on this image. I've uploaded this file into the Minion system, and now I know all the names of the seas that I could potentially view on the moon thanks to OpenAI. It is, something like unbelievable for me, still kind of magic.
It's
And
crazy.
yeah, I really like the results of the tagging.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's just see here. This is also another one. Let's just see. So, yeah, here you get the,
Dean, do you mind if we take the question from the chat? Because we have a few questions regarding the cost and regarding like how would like OpenAI charge once we receive tags from it.
yeah. Do you, do you have that, the pricing information handy? Because I did see on the pre-show document that you guys did mention some pricing. I wasn't paying attention to that. So if you could answer the pricing one, let me have a
Yeah,
look.
absolutely. Actually, as far as I know, like OpenAI charge per file, and it should be a certain number of files included for the key. But we have another answer from Dorian that it charge per tag, and I will need to double check this information. Like Dean,
No,
like
per API,
how
you get charged per API call as I
per
understand.
API call.
Yes, so
Okay,
you
so
get
given
charged
this code,
per
like
image. Yeah, yeah. So
you can receive different tags.
so one image that you send is one API call that you make, and then it sends back the information. I tried, I was, I looked at the pricing and I said, oh, let me deactivate this and try to save some cash on my tagging. Same story. It doesn't matter if you get charged per API call. So if you
So
turn
it
up the
doesn't matter like
tagging,
how many tags you receive like during like
uh,
these
no,
operations, 3 or 30, it will be the same cost.
no. Computer says no. Lucas Stegeman asks, if you turn up the tagging sensitivity, it will cost more for the same number of image. No, it doesn't. It's a flat fee as I understand it. Um, and then let's see. So let's say what cost are we looking at for auto tagging? Say 1,000 images. Please
If
refer to that. Please refer to
sorry.
that document because I did see it mentioned in there.
Yeah, yeah. Let me elaborate on this one. If you talk about the current version of OpenAI that we are using right now, it is GPT 4.0. If I'm not mistaken, it is going to be $10 per 1,000 files. But right now we are working on another version, GPT-0 Mini, and in this case, it will go down up to $1 per 1,000 files.
Yeah,
It is not officially released because there is a little difference in the accuracy. But if we talk about like the general items, I believe we can reach the same level of accuracy and make it quite cost-effective and affordable solution.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned that, Dorian, because when I did my initial test, I think I found you are quoting more or less 50% of what Kate mentioned now. So I think as these technologies get developed, the pricing is also going to decrease because when I tested it, it was quite a bit more expensive than what you are mentioning at the moment. Uh, that's very strange, Colin. If can anybody else confirm? Can somebody please confirm that you are getting an audio stream from us on YouTube?
Okay, like
Yes.
yep,
So we get the
it seems
audio is
audio is
fine.
fine. Yeah.
Audio is fine. So yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Colin, that you're having an audio issue. It's not on our end, unfortunately. So I'm not sure
Anyway, we
how.
will send everyone the recording of this webinar, and in case like if you like have limited time for join us and being online today, you can watch it later, and I believe connection, audio, video, and everything will be fine. And you can also send us your questions, and we will discuss it via email later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The new release, Kate. What other goodies are packed into that new release? Because we've just been. I was so blown away by all the AI. I've just been focusing on the AI, but I saw the release notes. There were quite a couple of other features. But before, I really want you to talk about controlled vocabulary, and I believe we have a screen recording that you want to just show us and talk through. So I'm going to line that up in the meantime, and then when you are ready, just tell me to hit play, and we can go for that.
Yeah, sure. And I hope it can cover like Dorian's question regarding the cost of tagging. I can show you some useful hack how to reduce the cost by using like OpenAI tags. Yeah, I'm actually ready to comment on my video. So,
Sure, sure.
Dean, please go ahead.
I just want to quickly get to Ronald's question. He says, in addition to recognizing general object shapes such as a house, garden, person, etc., has the AI been tested on recognizing people in photos, either as groups or individuals? Yes, it does. It's if Let me just quickly. After Kate has just showed us this controlled vocabulary demo, just remind me, and we can do a search through the catalog. It detects people the as groups and as individuals, but I think what your question is relating to is the result as good or much better than the embedded face recognition algorithm to be worth the cost. If your goal is, if you using it bona fide for face detection, if you want if the identity of the person is important for you, then I would recommend that you stick to the built-in AI algorithm, because the OpenAI and Google Vision algorithms are not going to detect specific people. They'll be able to tell you there is a Caucasian man, there is an Asian woman, there is an African child. That is the extent of the specifics. In order for it to recognize a specific identity, that is Jack Johnson, in an image, uh, you know, you can train it on the background, and then you have to call a specific AI. So it's possible via the service, but it's not yet implemented per se in the Dominion architecture, if that answers your question. Is architectural photography too specific of a domain, like you were talking about earlier? Or can the model tell the difference between different room types, example, bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, etc.? And this is exactly where I am going to. This is where I'm going to play Kate's video, because this demonstrates exactly how that works in a controlled vocabulary. Okay, so I'm going to
Because
hit
I
play.
wasn't aware of your question, but I actually prepared the video right for you to answer it. So, yeah.
Don't worry,
I,
don't worry. We will send you the check after the demo. Okay. Just kidding. Okay, here it goes. I'm going to play this.
yep. Okay, actually, for this short demo, I've uploaded absolutely new files into our interior catalogs, and I wanted to show you how to use vocabulary and the existing metadata from the list, and also with a combination with an open AI. So you can see a room type, actually the list of room types here on the left-hand side in the filter panel. I've selected all the files and I want to customize my AI tagging here. If I click on the checkbox, ignore the files that were previously tagged with OpenAI, I can actually didn't send these files one more time and save money and save the number of API calls. You can see that right now I didn't have any taxonomy adjusted to this specific file. And what will happen next? It took me a few more minutes to receive all this information from Google Vision. Dean, could you please pause a video for a moment to make
Yeah,
sure that
sure.
everyone can see the text? And also, as for room type, it could clearly recognize bedroom as a room type from the list. Here we go. Yep.
So, as I understand this, correct me if I'm wrong, Kate. So, what you do is you basically, in Dominion, you will create a custom metadata group. Say, for example, you call it controlled vocabulary. You create that as your metadata group. And then within that, you specify specific tags. For example, in the case of architecture, for example, if you want to have different fixtures, so say for example, it's the facade, the entryway, the portico, the driveway, um, the roof, all of these elements, you can basically enter that into a controlled vocabulary, and then during your tagging process, you simply tell it to use that controlled vocabulary as well. And when it makes a match and it identifies a match, it'll tag that in the controlled vocabulary. That's insane. That's that's crazy how that works. Eh?
Yep. Dean, it seems you did something with your mic because, like, I couldn't hear you clearly. Like, yeah, maybe you need to move somehow. Can you say something one more
No, no,
time?
no.
Yeah,
I am. Is it
yeah,
better
now it's
now?
better. Yeah, it
Oh,
is. I could recognize what you were saying, but well, in case like if someone couldn't, let us know in the
Dario,
chat. Yeah,
the day that we run a stream without any glitches is going to
not
is
sure
probably.
it exists.
I'm sure it's my birthday. The day that we run it without a glitch is the day that that we'll probably get a big bonus. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
and
Okay,
actually,
so I backtracked a little bit in this just to have a look at just to show some of the tagging that happens. So let's just see. So if we take it right from the top there, I'm just going to play and pause so that we can have a look. So that's all the tags that were assigned, right? So those are the AI labels. This is not part of your controlled vocabulary, right? So this is just the
yes.
default that was assigned, right?
Yes, exactly. The only
Yeah,
one for controlled vocabulary that I asked for, it is a room type. And I
the
had
room type,
bedroom
right?
in the list, yeah, of all room types. And OpenAI simply picked up from this list and display the most relevant data here.
Yeah, that's wild, eh? It's wild how this works. It really is.
Yeah. And if we take a look even at the number of all these AI objects or AI description, you can use even, this cup of tea for searching within your catalog, cup of tea, let's say living room, this combination of keywords
Right.
together, and you will get really accurate results without any efforts for tagging these files.
Okay. Here's a question. Can it be trained to recognize landmarks like mountain range profiles and infer general locations of photo acquisition? I do believe that happens. If I, sorry, I'm already 10 steps ahead. Kate, do you have
No,
anything to
no, no.
add?
No, that's fine. Like Christopher, like if you want to test what results will be, like even without training, you can send like a couple of images to
Yeah.
us, and we will show you like what's default results. And also by using this feature with controlled vocabulary, I believe you can get more accurate results for your tagging.
Yeah, I am not 100% sure if it actually does that. Let me just see. So I do recall seeing some geographic information, but you see, the thing is, my catalog is very generalized. It's not, it's not like I went specifically for. It's a very interesting question indeed. Let's just see if we get anything specific. I get like archaeology, Arctic. That's a very interesting question, Christopher, and I am not 100% sure. Please drop us an email and we will follow up with you. I like I said, I am not 100% sure if that does happen. Um, it would be very interesting if it does. I'm sure it would pick up, things like, for example, if you gave it a photo of the Statue of Liberty, it should be able to pick up that it's taken somewhere in New New York. But just scrolling through these AI tags, I do not seem to pick up any geographic information. What's a Bellini? There we go. That's a type of drink. I am speaking under correction, but yeah, let's get back. Drop us an email, and we can, we'll get the developers to weigh in as well, because, like I said, this technology is very new, and we've only been test driving it. We really haven't, driven, taken it for a road trip around the country. We've just driven around the block, so we're all pretty fresh and new at what the possibilities and the capabilities are. But very interesting question. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, it seems like Dorian assists us a lot answering the question regarding the AI tagging. Thank you, Dorian. And okay,
Yeah, I also
it's
just
always
reviewed. Yeah, the
good,
local
good to
Vancouver
know.
Mountains tag location. Yeah, I don't know. You're probably right. Yeah, but like I said, the developers would be best suited to answer that question. I sincerely have no idea. I would just be guessing. Do you have any of the other improvements in the 9.5 that might be notable? I remember, I don't know if it was this version of the previous one. There was a lot of 3D version support.
Then
That
it seems we have one more question from the chat from Lucas. Could you please take a look at once the
uh,
tags have been applied,
sorry, I
can the
missed that.
library then be downloaded? Yep. Do you
Yes,
mind
it
to
says,
take this one?
yeah, it says once the tags have been applied, can the library then be downloaded to local storage while retraining that tag metadata? Or is the library only searchable via those tags through Dominion's platform? Um, I believe I do believe that the AI tags are written into the IPTC metadata. So Dominion is 100% metadata aware. If if there's any metadata generated, it's written into the file itself. So it will transport over to other applications as well. That is the impression that I am under. Um, Lucas, as well, I do I do implore you, please send us an email just to confirm this. Drop an email to support@dominion.net, and just refer to the question at 50 minutes in about metadata, and you'd like an answer, and we get the developers to respond directly to you. Because it's my understanding, at the core of Dominion's functionality lies full integration with industry standard metadata. So it wouldn't make much sense for us to generate metadata and then not embed it in the files. But I am speaking under correction. So drop us that email, and we will get the developers to weigh in directly, answer you directly with their added knowledge.
But anyway, like talking about searchability, like using this metadata, even if you have all these data downloaded somewhere locally on your machine, or let's say on your network drive, you don't have a platform, you don't have interface how to use it, how to search within your network drive. So basically, you will have folders separately, and all this metadata, even if it goes with a file, it will stay with the files, and that's it. Like you cannot use it separately, like without the platform. And all these filtering capabilities, quick search, advanced search, or other features that Dominion offers, it will be available using web interface or desktop client that we were showing you before. That's the key thing
Yeah,
of
yeah.
any DAM, I believe, like because like neither like Windows Explorer or Explorer, I don't know the name of Mac
Yeah,
one, it will not recognize metadata separately from the
yeah,
file.
yeah. That's the tricky thing is, you can examine the metadata in your operating system. So I mean, you can get the properties on a file and see what metadata is written into it. But if you search for that metadata in your Finder or your Explorer, you're not going to find that metadata. You have to have some form of system that integrates and reads that metadata. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
But I
right.
mean, I was listening with one ear and with the and still browsing through these AI tags. I mean, I'm completely blown away, Kate. Really, it's after spending 20 years of my life assigning metadata to files, I'm saying to myself, why did you know? Why didn't you just wait? It's crazy.
Okay. And actually, like Dorian, if you're still with us, do you mind sharing like how long it took for you to tag 15,000 of files? I believe like for doing manually, it might take a few days or maybe weeks. Am I correct, Dean?
Um, for I've done a bit. I probably spent I spent about 30. I spent about $30 to get my first batch of files tagged, and it didn't take too long. It was I would say
Oh,
I
okay.
probably got a response like every 2 seconds, every 3 seconds. It was like a file and response. So, if you're going to be tagging, 100,000 or 200,000 files, it's going to take some time to do that. But for
Yeah.
small tasks and for say for example, where I really see a use case for this is those files where there is a lot of minutia in it. There's a lot of different things. There is it's a photo of a desk with a diary, and there's some office in the background and office furniture. Those cluttered images is where this is going to be very useful and save you a lot of time. But if you, for example, look at an image of just a salt pan in the middle of nowhere. There's three things. There's a horizon, there's salt pan, and there's sky. Like that might not necessarily be the best, uh, use of your resources to to tag something like that. But it has its use cases. By all means, I invite everybody, try it out, give it a spin, see if it works for you. Um, it's really saved me a lot of time and given me some extra free time to spend on more stimulating, creative ventures in our office. And whereas, I don't know, I just want the computer to tag everything, and I want to sit back and, and enjoy my
And
life.
do some editorial job to make sure that all tag is accurate.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
you want to keep it. Yeah. Thank you, Dorian, for your response. It's like from 4 to 6 hours. Well, the next question I believe our audience might have: are you satisfied with the accuracy and quality of these tags received from OpenAI?
It depends. It depends. It's touch and go. At I haven't found like very very like where I can say, okay, every single tag is wrong. There will be, I'd say, maybe 1 in 10 or maybe 1 in 20 files, there will be a one metadata tag that is a little bit out of context. For example, there will be a scale, like for example, there will be a scale on the wall and it will say it's a clock, it's a wall clock. Like, so it's those small kind of mistakes, but they are really the exception to the rule. I'm very happy with the quality of the tagging that we have gotten from AI, from the AI thus far, yes. But granted, I mean, I haven't. I've put my foot in the water, Kate. So this is my entry into this field. I'm sure if you ask me in a month or two, I'm gonna have like a long list of.
Well, let's see. Yeah, maybe we need
We'll
to host
see.
another webinar to listen to your feedback. Because, well, I believe you're aware of that. Not sure that all of our participants
Thank you so
is
much,
aware of
Bro.
that. We really appreciate your feedback. That's the way how we make our product better. In case if you like something or dislike something, please share with us. Like I believe like everyone has a contact point at Dominion, and we really appreciate your feedback, and we are working to make the product better for everyone.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. So I believe we have a special discount code as well that we need to
Yep.
share with our users before we call it a night. We've been at this for about an hour, and I feel like I can talk another hour about this. But
Yeah,
I
before we
think
do
we should.
that, just let us make sure that no one else has any questions that we didn't cover today. Just in case if you have any questions regarding AI, maybe another functionality, please let us know. Maybe we have already discussed it or not discussed it. I believe we can take it, even if you are running a little bit late for the scheduled webinar. And after that, we can announce a discount and also the referral program we are working on.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I have the same experience. Very, very responsive, very hands-on. I concur.
I believe it will be better, and it will be like even more cost effective with this
Yeah,
another model, and I hope it will worth like all your efforts and time spending
yeah,
with this OpenAI feature. But anyway, it always good to hear your feedback. Thank you, Dorian.
yeah. Right. Well, I let's just read this comment. Biggest lessons for us was being careful not to send non-image files for tagging. Yeah, I haven't even tried that yet. we should we should send it a video, send it a video and see what comes back.
Like not at this time. I believe we will have this functionality later, but right now
Yeah.
we would like to
Uh,
focus
the-
on
Um,
Imagery first.
yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but I recently ran into there's this website called "There's an AI for that." That's the website's name, right? So, and I've found that there are AIs for everything, and even Microsoft Azure have got a video tagging feature that I am going to be very sure to address to our development team because it also works via an API and you can send video files and it actually gives you timestamps and things. So watch this space. I think that we are going to be integrating quite a few services into the Dominion ecosystem as time goes on. Watch the space. Dominion is in active development. New versions are coming out every year. So keep your finger on the pulse. And Dorian says, don't try it. Yeah. Any case.
Talking about video tagging, the key thing is that no one likes the potential cost of tagging because, like, all these AI services charge per minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you talk
Very
about
expensive.
like a few hours video, and I believe you have not only one into your
Yeah.
catalog, you might
Well,
have thousands.
Kate, in a certain sense, I understand it, because a video file is essentially a sequence of still images, So, in order for
Yeah.
an AI to make sense of a 1 minute video, that's 24, if it's a 24 frames per second, that's 24 times 60, that it has to go through in a minute, and it's a lot of computing that's involved. So, I think what lots of these AI video tagging models do is that they, for example, will sample a frame every 1 in 50 frames. So they will try to reduce the overhead, but they're very, a couple of different ways of going about it, and. What does it says? It wasn't video for us. I believe it was a PDF or other document that sees the AI tagging. Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But don't hold out on us, Kate. Give us that discount code for upgrade, and then what I suggest you do is like say it very softly, very softly.
Okay, so let me do that. For those who attended the webinar, we offer like 10% discount, no matter if you're existing client or if you're planning to proceed with Dominion. This is time limited offer, and the discount will be valid for 3 weeks only. I believe the deadline will be September 18th. So we are really open to show you how this work. In case if you have already ongoing subscription, but you would like to test OpenAI and auto text, we can offer you an alternative, a cloud-based catalog with an OpenAI key activated. You will have up to 50 files available for tagging. Just let us know if you're interested to give it a try, and we will create a separate repository for you. So no one except you will have access to these files, except you and OpenAI, actually, because Dominion still needs to send some mid-sized previews to uh, GPT server.
Big Brother is always watching.
Yeah. We will send you a promo code via email to make sure that you have all these details with you. But if you talk about the trial, feel free to reach us out. You don't need any promo to have it activated. And
Yeah.
also, we are working on our referral program. If you want to have 10% discount, not for time limited offer like for these upcoming 3 weeks, but let's say for your upcoming maintenance or subscription renewal, how it works. You can recommend Dominion to anyone, like maybe even you have like some colleagues from another department who's still facing the issue working with files with deorganized folders, or spending too many hours finding what was actually created a few months ago for this specific campaign. We will also give them 10% discount for their purchase and 10% discount for your further renewal or maintenance. It will work for both of you.
Nice.
Mutual beneficial.
Very nice. I like that. I like that. Well, there we have it, Kate. What we should do is just post the release notes as well. We must post the release notes in the description of the videos, and then our users can go and read on all the minor improvements. But by all means, give the AI a chance. See if it improves your lives. We would love to hear your feedback. At any stage, our team loves interacting with our users. If you have feedback, comments, suggestions, please send an email to support@dominion.net. Make sure that you include in your subject line webinar feedback, and we would love to hear from you. Anything else, Kate?
No, I think we are good for today. Thanks a lot for
Great.
joining us and being so active today. That's always pleasure to have real-time conversation, and
It is,
I
yeah.
really appreciate feedback from the users who have already tried the software. Uh,
Yeah,
thank you.
indeed. Indeed. Nice. Okay, take care, guys. We'll catch you on the flip side. And yeah, life is too short to tag images. That's all I've got to say. Bye
Yeah, that's
bye.
true. Thank you. Have a nice one. Bye now.